Let's talk about our girl Kenya. It seems like we have some official news coming out from Bravo Kenya, thanks to TMZ. We will cover what's going on with Kenya in season 16. Also, an update on her divorce. There seems to be a lot going on for Miss Kenya Moore. So, Team Twirl, let's talk about it. And before we do, subscribe, do all the good YouTube stuff. Definitely chime into the comments below. I'd love to hear all your thoughts. And yeah, with that said, let's get into it. All right, so TMZ got the exclusive. Basically, Kenya is not returning to season 16 of Real Housewives of Atlanta as a cast member. It's sad. It is what it is. Apparently, Bravo sidelined her, suspended her indefinitely for unveiling those, explicit posters, calling Brittany Eady what was it, an insurance fraud. Just the whole production of it, it was just a bad call on Kenya's part. And honestly, I think, a lot of us, we look at Kenya as one of the smarter housewives. So for her to put on such an antic, it wasn't cute, it wasn't funny, it was just straight up garbage. It was just no, not cute for a woman who, comes across smart and beautiful and whatever. So she hasn't been fired necessarily. It just seems like both parties came to the table and they both agreed on, you know what, we are just going to take a break from each other. Not now, not forever, or we're not going to do this now, but this isn't a break forever. So I guess in the grand scheme of things, Kenya still has a working relationship with like Bravo, NBC, the behemoth that is the network. And obviously, Kenya is a prized possession to the network. So obviously, they don't want to lose her. It just seems like our OGs or housewives that have been on these shows for quite a while, have a lot of notoriety, have a pretty significant fan base. They are just like falling like flies, but that's partially because the network doesn't want to, pay those huge salaries anymore. I think we just need a return of all the OGs, but I will get to that. So yeah, it seems like both parties they came to terms like, you know what, we are just gonna take a break. Bravo's gonna keep the door open. Um, However, Kenya is considering legal options at this point because she's not happy with how everything was handled. It is kind of weird though, because it's like she did the crime. So, obviously she needs to not do the crime, not do the time, but I don't know, get like a slap on the hand, on the wrist, whatever. But she's not happy with what the repercussion is for what she did. So it's kind of weird that she's considering legal options. But at the end of the day, like it is her place of work. It is her income for the year, which I believe is the bulk of her income for the year, which we will get to. Now, Bravo did launch an investigation into this, and in the end, they figured, you know what, Kenya's behavior, it was in violation of their code of conduct. And it's not just like an ethical issue, like unveiling the images that Kenya did when it came to new housewife Brittany Eady. It falls on under like criminal. So it's a whole mess Kenya created where she probably just wanted a moment, and now look what it's turned into. Now, I do think this is kind of like this is it when it comes to Kenya, and we have Bryce Sanders speaking up on it. And Bryce Sanders, he's kind of like a Housewives insider. He gets the scoop. He gets a lot of really good interviews, and he's like, "Yes, the Kenya exit is real. It was her choice, but it's unclear if season 16 on the show they will address it." Because if we look at timing, I think they were only filming for like a couple weeks. So very easily, Bravo could kind of like start fresh in a way. Like the new season, it's like, okay, all this stuff 3 week all this stuff for 3 weeks didn't happen, or 2.5 weeks, however long they were filming for. Filming starts now. And they could also, I don't know, bring in some other full-time housewives and, shake up the cast now that they won't have to pay Kenya's enormous salary for this season. So yeah, Bryce Sanders is like, Kenya's exit is real. What they do with the editing, who knows? But they do have the door open for Kenya for later on. I'm sure we'll see her again, is what it sounds like. It's just season 16 is a hot mess. Like, it was a mess, but now it's like a hot, hot, hot mess. And then this person responded, "What happened? We just saw, physical altercation in New Jersey." And Bryce is like, "Well, Danielle and Jen, they were both suspended for the incident and only cleared to return after the investigation." So, same case with both. Bravo launches their own investigation. And, they got to see, like, legally, are they protected, or is this going to be like a real shit show down the road? So, in Kenya's case, there was also an investigation, but as to what TMZ said, it all comes down to like the code of conduct and the clauses in your contract, and if you break it, you got to do the time. And to what Bryce said, the current climate, the microscope we're under with all the lawsuits, well, not us, but Bravo and their lawsuits, it's not a good time for these housewives to be like acting out. Now, Kenya, she's letting, Team Twirl know, "You are the best fans anyone could ever ask for, and I love you all so very much, always and forever." Guys, don't be too sad about Kenya. I think we'll see her again. Things should be okay. Now, most recently, Kenya and Portia, they seem to be on good terms. And these two have, they have come a long way from their incidents in the past to how good they are on the show. It's almost like an OG alliance at this point. Also, they are so freaking gorgeous. This is like too much gorgeousness in like one photo. But anyway, Kenya did wish Portia a happy birthday recently, and they seem to be on good terms. We saw Drew's Dora in support of Kenya. We saw Candy in support of Kenya. No, Candy in support of Kenya. There we go. Hope I said that right. And obviously, people did not take too kindly to Candy's support of Kenya, and I did do a video on that. You guys can see that. I don't know where we go from here. Like, should we just make Cynthia full time? Because as of this season, Bravo did confirm Cynthia is an official friend of. But should we just like make her full time? Who can we bring back? I guess Sheree could come back. Who else? Who else still lives in the area? Nene, well, guys, we're never gonna get Nene. And Kim Zolciak is way too messy and frankly way too lowbrow with her like clickbait crap that she does. So I don't know. Is there someone else we can bring back? Maybe we could get a new housewife from another city. How cool would that be? Now let's move on to Kenya's divorce, how much she makes on the show. Some good news, some bad news. Let's get into it. Y'all remember Mark Daly. He came in, he twirled, and he left. It was not a cute situation when it came to these two. Anyways, Kenya Moore and Mark Daly, after 5 years of splitting, their divorce has finally, been final. So they're finally divorced. This only happened a few days ago. In terms of how it works for the both of them, they don't have to like pay each other anything in terms of alimony. So that's good. Um, Mark apparently makes 5,000 per month. I do not believe that. Maybe 5,000 is like his personal income, and then like his businesses. I don't know what businesses he has. I think he has a restaurant, and I don't know what else he has. I'm sure they make a lot more than 5,000 a month. That seems like pretty low. And then Kenya has an higher income. So okay, Mark apparently makes 5,000 a month, but he's agreed to pay 2 grand in child support plus an additional $1,000 for Brooklyn's college savings account. So that's great. Kenya was granted primary custody and final say over Brooklyn, and appearing on the show. None of them are going to receive alimony. They both just, they earn their own income and nobody has to give anything to the other. So that's good. So that's like one good news for Kenya, the fact that she's finally gotten this divorce dealt with. However, in some other not so great news, apparently she owes several thousands of dollars in back taxes. I don't have the official amount here. However, Kenya does apparently make $90,000 a month from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, basically, she has a salary that totals to over a million per year. Not that, obviously Atlanta, they don't film all like 12 months of the year. They film for what, like 3.5 months at most. And with that, also, you're doing a lot of press, you're doing like, confessionals. There's a lot that goes on. But you're not like working, 40 hours a week, 9 to 5 for 12 months or 12 months of the year. It doesn't work like that. You film for a number of weeks and then later on you have some press to do. And Kenya's been on the show for, a number of seasons now. So I'm not surprised her income from the show is now over $1 million for, a couple months of filming. So in the world of Kenya, she has some good stuff going on, some not so great stuff going on. In terms of the show, she's officially on pause. No, I don't think it's the Dorinda pause. Um, it sucks. That means she's probably not going to get her $1 million paycheck for season 16. I don't know how her legal team and Bravo is going to handle that. She has her, back taxes to deal with. But hey, there's, what is it? Gold at the end of the rainbow. She has officially divorced that man, Mark Daly. So that's the tea with Kenya. We wish her well. I'm sure we'll, see her again on our screens, just not on season 16. Y'all, let me know your thoughts when it comes to all the Kenya updates. I'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't subscribed already, definitely do so. And I will catch you later.